Everyone in the world suffers to some degree. After the sudden unexpected death of Tim's son, Jay, God opened up a world Tim never knew before, as told in the book, The River of the Lord, A Path Through Suffering, which Tim wrote after Jay's death. This book tells of God's faithfulness during grief and loss, the concepts and stories in this groundbreaking book of how to embrace suffering and find the power of surrender to keep the proper perspective during times of loss and sorrow.
And when I found myself in my darkest hour after this happened to my son, after he was killed, I began to search and reach deep and to wonder why God allows us to suffer. After Jay and I had our last meeting, we talked about the river of the Lord. I'd never heard those words before. And after that happened to Jay, I began to think about it and ponder the river of the Lord. And this book talks about how we can trust the flow of that river. In my darkest hour, I was at a grief counselor's office and I didn't want to be there, so I got up and left. I went to my farm and God spoke to me and He said, "Tim, notice my trees." And I noticed the trees for what seemed to be the first time in a long time. Notice my blue skies. And I noticed the blue skies, and God said, "You're only here for a few minutes." And that really, I began to really understand the brevity of this life. We're in our fiery trial and we're thinking about deliverance. God is thinking development. The river of the Lord is a spiritual river that is here with us in this physical dimension. God makes available to us a way that we can make it through our sufferings and our trials. I hope that when the people read the book, I hope that they see that it shows people how they can go through suffering. God is faithful and trustworthy, and that He's in the life rebuilding business, and that He'll see you through, and if you'll look to Him, He'll open up the river of the Lord for you to see. He'll light your path and He'll show you the way.